Good afternoon, folks. Mike Wells, your World Explorer. Today we're going to do a resin pour and produce some pen blanks, but we're going to do something that I don't think anybody's doing except for me. We're going to take this bug-eaten or grub-eaten wood, which is citrus wood, and we're going to cut it into down to size, and then we'll do our resin pour. We're going to use an interesting color. I'll show you real quick. So we're going to use this clear cast 7050, and this is the color right here. It's called burnt orange. Looks more like a copper color, so it'll be interesting to see that paired up against the color of the citrus wood. Let's get started. All right, now first and foremost, I'm going to have to cut this big chunk in half and then cut it further from there. So I'll just cut this chunk off right here, and for starters, what I need are 3.5 by 3.5 by whatever as far as the height goes. So let's get started. All right, let's get a good look at what this wood looks like on the inside. I've never cut into this yet, so let's see. What do we got here? Not bad. Has a lot of color, a lot more than I was expecting. I'm gonna go ahead and take a pick out all of this wood that's left behind as best as I can. I might cut this down slightly further too, but it looks pretty cool on the inside. Wow, it's really impressive. I'm very shocked. There's a lot going on here. On the left there, you see those zebra stripes. That's rare. It's really nice though. All right, so I'll probably just go ahead and cut this one in half because we might be able to use this side. So here we are. Here's a little bit more revealed right there. Looks pretty decent, folks. I'm surprised. I thought it was just going to be mostly white. Well, here's something that I wasn't expecting. Look at that. A live grub was in there. Wow. So, yeah, we'll pick him out and we're going to have to work around that. All right, I've made some measurements of 3.5 inches this way, 3.5 inches this way. Now I'm going to start chopping. All right, so here's the size we're looking for because this is the size of the container we're going to be utilizing for the pour. So this is going to be pretty cool. Look at all that sawdust flowing out of there. This is the one that I'm really excited about because it has a lot of holes. So this is going to be a better situation in my opinion. We're going to have to clean this piece up though because it's pretty rough. And there we have it. That's the right size. Now I'm going to pick away at this. It's going to take a minute. I don't want you to have to experience that process with me. Basically just a nice pick. I'll get in those holes and dig them out. Use a brush to scrape the tops. That's about it. Folks, right in here, I just found a grub. He's huge. He's locked himself in there. I had to dig all this out to find him, but he's in there. I'll show him to you. All right, there he is. Big as my thumb. All right, so this one has holes that finish out through, so that's really good. This one's going to be a fantastic one. So let's get pouring. All right, folks, I've got these containers here. They're just wax containers. They make it a little easier to work with this material. I cut the tops off. What I need to do first is take these containers, right? Load these pieces of wood into them and glue them. I have to glue them down. I usually weight them down, but these are so big, I don't think I'm going to be able to weight them down. when I do this pour, they'll float if I don't glue them down. So I'll use super glue to do this. All right, so while we're waiting for those to dry, we have to start our mixes. All right, so first I measure, this is going to be 2 parts to 1 part. So you've got 2 parts of the resin, right? And then 1 part hardener. So I need to mix 2 separate batches. I'm not even sure this is going to be enough for this pour, but we're going to find out. So first things first, I want to go ahead and pour my resin. Let me do that. I'll pour the hardener and then we'll mix in a little bit of this. So maybe we'll do 2 different colors. I got this gold and then I got this copper looking burnt orange. So that'll be cool. Let's try that. All right, now we have the gold and we have the, I'll just call it copper. Both of these are only mixed with the resin. Here's the hardener for both batches. All right, I haven't mixed the hardener in yet. Let's see if our wood is going to stay. Well, looks like that one stays. Let's take this one. See if it stays. It stayed. Good. We're ready to pour, folks. Here's the thing though. I gotta mix these first and then pour. Then I'll run them through the degassing chamber over here. All right, we have our mixture here. I've actually mixed in the hardener now. We've had to use approximately 7 grams of the pearlescent powder to get the right density of pearlescent powder mixed in with this volume of resin. So that's something you want to really be aware of. Otherwise, your pours are going to be lacking in pearlescent powder density within the resin if you don't get enough mixed in. I'm not even sure if this is going to be enough. It looks like it will be because it looks dense enough on the paddle. So that's what we're weighing up against. If you can see through it pretty well, then it's not dense enough. So it's not warm yet, but it's viscous. It's viscous enough to go ahead and start the pour. I want to degas it while it's in this chamber here. So let me go ahead and scrape off and we'll get that done right now. All right, we're gonna go ahead and pour. All right, I'm gonna throw this into degassing chamber and then pull it out, and that's it. We're gonna have to let it sit and cure. It's gonna take, once it gets hot, it cures very fast. All right, I just set it in the chamber. Now I'm gonna turn it on. Let's see what we got. All right, I got that batch fully in the degassing chamber, and hopefully this all works out well. So the thing about this degassing is what we're doing is getting the air inside of the wood to expand out of the wood and be replaced with this resin. So as soon as I release the vacuum, it will be injected into the wood, the resin will, as long as it's viscous and not already kicking too far. All right, here's the moment of truth. I just released the vacuum and hopefully there's not a lot of heat. Okay, I don't feel any. Now when this starts to kick, it's going to get really hot, so I'm going to set it aside somewhere. Now for this next pour, we're going to try and do the same thing, but I want to have all the resin ready already. So, all right, we're going to kick off this next whole batch, and it's going to be fun. All right, I'm going to take half of this and pour it, and then degas when I'm done mixing this. Looking so good. All right, the way you know you're done pulling air is once all those big bubbles disappear, then you're good to go. All right, we are done vacuuming. We just released the seal. This thing's ready to pull out. I want to get a temperature. It's starting to get warm, so I'm going to put it over where it needs to cure. All right, let's check. Let's see what we got going on here. This one seems to be firing off pretty heavily. Look at those bubbles. See, this is what I don't like about this Clearcast 7050. It gets hot and then it starts producing bubbles. I gotta get a hold of something that does not do that. If you guys have any knowledge of a product that does not produce bubbles like this, let me know in the comments, please. Because I'm trying to produce bubbleless pours. And this Clearcast 7050 causes me to have to re-pour. And I can't afford to be doing that. It just takes a lot of time and extra resources that I don't really want to be having to produce. All right, folks, look at this. We've got very hard. This one's set up literally perfectly from the looks of it. That's the gold color. This one, that copper looking brownish color, it bubbled up quite a lot from the heat intensity of the hardener mixing with the resin. It was a perfect ratio, so I'm not understanding why the bubbles came, other than this specific Clearcast does this from time to time. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the reveal. I'm going to go ahead and start chopping into this, and we're going to figure out what we got here. All right, I changed my location because the cleanup of this is mandatory. I don't want all this resin stuff to be all over in my yard. So you see here, that's what we're working with. So we'll go ahead and cut. Thinking we'll cut a slice. We'll cut off the end here. See what we got. All right, so you see, this is what I'm talking about on the inside. This Clearcast, this is a failure in my opinion. I mean, this needs to be solid, but regardless, we're still going to work with this. Here we go. You can't see much yet. Now you're starting to see some stuff. Maybe it's not so bad. So there's this end. Can't tell what's going on yet. So you can see there's a lot of bubble activity in there. So undesirable, but you know, you got to work with what you got sometimes. So how do I want to process this? Do I want to process this way? Do I want the blanks to be there? Do I want the blanks to be there? It's really tough to say. See, I don't know. Maybe we'll go ahead and slice here and see what we got. Oh man. Considering all things, that looks kind of cool. Not bad, huh? I don't know, folks. I guess I'll have to turn it to really see what's going on. But you can tell the voids were filling, definitely. What do we got here? Doom, the reveal. Can't really tell yet, but it's not looking terrible. It definitely looks interesting, I can tell you that much. Very interesting. Now, am I going to be able to get more blanks? I don't know. This is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to put our stopper on there. This helps us so that we don't chop our fingers off. There it is, the finger saver. What do we have going on here? Interesting. Really tough to tell, but we'll only know when we break these down a little bit. So this is what we're dealing with. Pretty interesting. Guess what? Now we're going to cut into the gold one to see what's going on. There's the pattern. So there are no holes. This pour turned out, oh my gosh, solid. This will probably be the best pour I've ever seen. My lordy. Let's just go ahead and process this down and see what we get. Folks, this is great news. That's incredible. I think we got a really good pour here. Oh, Snapples, look at that. Looking all good. This is going to turn out to be one of the best pours ever. There we go. So you're starting to get a good picture of what's going on here. Not bad. This thing completely filled. Oh, there's one little bubble, but that's nothing. Look there. This is a great pour. This is exactly what we're looking for. Look at that, all the voids were filled. This is crazy. Couple of voids left behind, but they're just tiny. That's easily amenable. We could fix that. Not bad, eh? All right, I tell you what I'm going to do is finish this out, and then I'm going to chop these into a bunch of smaller pieces and show you the blanks, the finished blanks. All right, folks, here we sprayed a little bit of water onto these so that you could see clearly what's going on. I'm really not sure what to think of them yet, but I'm sure when we turn them, they will look a lot better. So anyhow, I'm going to leave these to dry, and then we'll go ahead and set them up for some turning, and we'll see just what the finished products look like that we get out of this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps the channel grow. And stay tuned, because we're going to create some pens out of these blanks right here. Have a great day.